everyone. So you've probably been seeing all my shorts and videos of Teddy, and I guess I should explain a little bit more about Teddy, because he is like unlike any other dog that I've had. I've had dogs all through my childhood growing up, and my previous Rottweiler, Macy, passed away last July. I had to put her down. She had bone cancer, and I always said she was the best dog I ever had, and I loved her so much. She was 11 years old when she passed away, and immediately, the very next day, I got Teddy. And his birthday is the same day as mine, so that's kind of why I chose him. And he's a Rottweiler, and he is unlike any other dog that I've ever had. He does not bark. He loves everybody. He's so kind of like hyperactive, and so because of that, because he's not like any other dog that I've had, I've been having kind of some trouble training him, because he's such a good dog, and he doesn't bark, so I never really had to what's the word, like reprimand him, because he doesn't really do anything wrong. He loves everybody. So I took him in April, right about when he was a year old. I took him to see the dog daddy. So I met the dog daddy, and the reason I'm posting this video right now is because I'm going to post the video of him meeting the dog daddy. And let me just tell you, the dog daddy is amazing. He helps dogs, all dogs, but he really helps the owner. That's really the whole the whole problem. I think the reason these dogs are problem dogs is because the owner doesn't necessarily know how to handle their dogs. And I didn't really know how to handle Teddy, because for instance, when I would take him out, he goes with me in the truck in La Fonda, and when I take him out, if there's other people or dogs around, he's fine until the person starts to talk to me, like, hi, how are you? He like goes right for him. So that's mainly what I needed help with, and the dog daddy helped me. So he trained me more so than training Teddy. However, I still have been really lenient with him, because he's my baby, and I just kind of let him be a dog, but so I post little videos on here of Teddy, and so you can see, just kind of see how he is. So the next, I guess I'll add it on to this video here, my training with the dog daddy. And like I said, that was in April. So I've been doing better, not necessarily Teddy, but he's been doing much better too. So now he's about a year and a half old now, and I did get him neutered, because I thought maybe that would help, and I think it did. But yeah, he's such a good dog. He's napping right now, so I could do this video.
Call it once in a while, because so I took 1 week off, and it's still a little bit like It's not that it's loose, but sometimes you're gonna slide down the dog's neck. Once in a while, just stop and pull it up closer behind the dog's ears, especially if you're gonna go into an area with a lot more distractions. That's a good time to stop. But when you get him out of the car or any dog out of the house, out of the car, and there's a bunch of distractions, stop that first, do this, lift it up, before you go for a walk. Sit. Sit. Great. Come. Sit. So the main thing that we want to do with him is bringing his focus to us, you know. So he knows his commands very well, but one reason he's not listening is because he's so conditioned to paying attention to everything else in front of him. And the best way to change that with any puppy, even like, he's a good example because he's friendly. But any dog, when you're training them, you want to make sure that you're teaching the dog to pay more attention to you than anything else around them. So when you have a friendly dog like this that he just wants to go for every leaf that he sees and every person and every cat. So the only reason he's doing that is because you are not making yourself the life of the party, you know? Like you're not making yourself like the most entertaining thing for him. And there's certain ways to do that. I will show you many different ways that you can do that. But it's basically you're teaching him to pay attention to the distractions when you bring him to a place with a lot of distractions, and then all you do is hold on to him and let him pay attention to them. So he's gonna see things that he wants to chase, he's gonna see dogs that he wants to play with them. Other people are like, oh, beautiful dog, and he's looking at them. Yep. So every time they're doing that, he's just learning that he gets all this attention, all this excitement away from you, like looking at elsewhere. So we have to make sure that we start at home, but then as soon as you go out with any dog, you wanna make sure that you are the main focus. And you do that with switching directions like I was doing earlier, lots of this, making yourself more fun. So like, hey, come, yes, good boy, come. So if there's two dogs playing over there, what's really important that I will be doing here is make myself louder and more exciting for him to want to pay more attention to me than the other dogs. So if, let's say, getting close to people here, hey, come, good boy, good. Come. Now, and again, it's different types of training because you don't want to build excitement with him. So don't get confused with, with what, there's two different things. You want to teach him to be calmer with the sit and the down, but this is more when you're out in public, you want to do things that bring his attention to you at the same time, but not create too much excitement at the same time. So if I did that and he comes running to me, that's all I need, reward him. But if he's getting out of hand, we're going to go back to, no, leave it. And you're gonna create that balance, you know. He's not gonna. This dog is not like you do a little correction with him and he thinks like he did something wrong, you know. You can do minor corrections and still go back to playing again and go back and forth until he realizes all you need is certain behaviors from him. Like you need him to pay attention to you when he's out in public. A dog that learns to sniff everything like this is because you're giving them too much free time to pay attention to those things. So the best way to prevent that is not allowing them that much time. Just keep them busy with you. You can use food as well. You can use toys.
Now, when I take him out, he grabs and bites at the leash and pulls and
yeah. So that I don't know, he's not doing it today here, but if he's going to bite the leash, what you're gonna hold on firm here, and you're gonna do this touch right here, right there, pressure. See how when I do this, it really gets his attention.
I always wondered what you did. I thought maybe you pinched him because I tried it.
Well, it's pretty firm because I'm doing like it's ticklish there, right? The thing with just correction that I have to be careful when you do that with some dogs, they can get mad. He doesn't have that personality, but even then I don't. You can do this and the dog can redirect because what it does, it gets that attention very sharply. It gets that attention like. And it snaps them out of it. And some dogs can get very frustrated. They just snap without even realizing what happened, and they just turn around. But the reason that I use it because with my dogs I do this once or twice for each behavior that I want to stop, and they never do it again. So if they bite the leash and I just do this correction firmly and really like it means business, like I mean business, don't do that again. It stops and they never do it again. So if they jump and I do that, same thing. If they're any behavior that I don't want, that's why I choose that. But when I work with a dog that doesn't have total respect for the owners, that's usually when they can turn around and bite them. Or they don't have enough training. When I mean total respect, it does not mean that he doesn't respect and doesn't love you. It's just that he doesn't have enough training to know like you can do all these things with him. He can pick up his paw, and he probably can in general, you know. If you get a dog that he cannot do all those things, if you do this correction, you have a higher chance of the dog just like carelessly turning around and biting because they're not used to someone constantly like telling them what to do. But that's the best way to stop the leash biting, if he's doing that. And don't go for a straight walk right now. Literally take the time to train. Like when you're trying to get at an end goal with the dog, any dog that is fully trained, it's never like exposing them to the most higher level of distractions and then expect them to do better there. It makes it much harder for you to work with the dog, especially with a big dog like this. So you want to do it like just you and him, and then you add distractions gradually. So if I cannot keep him from just like going out of the car, out of the house, and just like hanging out with me right away, he's not ready to be in a park with other dogs. He's not ready to be in a place with a bunch of people. I have to focus on that first. So I have to focus on simply getting him out of the car, out of the house, and just having him be able to do this right away. Leave it.
Well, he goes with Lisa, and Lisa's a truck driver, so she goes across the country, and
That's
he's
okay.
gonna have like the.
So it's just like whenever you park the truck, when he comes out, your main practice is just making sure that he's not dragging towards the grass, he's not pulling you at every different direction. It's just you and him outside of the truck and he's with you. He's not doing too much pacing around and lunging and pulling. First that, then do a sit and stay, just right there. Again, you and him. Sit, and make sure that he holds that sit then. And then you go into adding other distractions. Let me do something really quickly with him. I'm gonna add another leash so I can do a little bit more detail. Sorry, all good. I like to do this a lot with the dogs that need like impulse control, because what you would do, 6, 8, 6, 6. You will put the responsibility on them and it will start to make them think for themselves. 6. Yeah, his very high level of expectation is a big distraction for him. No. Come. Sit. So we're gonna do more like this firm. 8. Sit. A firm tone and firm approach, and last like too many rewords. Good. Come here. Come. Sit. 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 And then going down. Down. No. Sit. Down. Down. And the first time is always the most difficult, like I was saying. Once you really stay persistent with this, it becomes much easier to add other distractions. Down. 8. Sit. Down. So he did good, but the way that I train my dogs is I want him to hold it down until I actually release them. So when I'm going towards him, when he did already good, he gets up. I want him to wait until I actually go that pattern and then time to get up. So you have to still continue to reinforce the down until he allows you to tell him to get up. Down, no. And that's him being highly distracted with everything else that is in front of him, so he's not able to focus on what he's really doing. Sit. Down. 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 8. Sit. Sit. Down. And like right now, if he's learning to just be able to like go down and hold it down, you work with that and then you build up, like I said. Ideally, I would be doing this just me and him, because right now it's very hard to get his attention to me. If I do too many movements, too much attention to get his attention to me, he's gonna get up, because he goes from like one extreme where he's focused over there and then he focuses too much on me. But if it was just me and him, I would be able to do this much faster, and then you add distractions. And you want to build distance, you want to be able to, you can add yourself as a lot of distractions. You can move around faster. If you run around in front of him, you go like step over him, things like this. And you keep adding distractions. But you do all of that, and once it's really good, then you add all the distractions. Down. No. Down. Then if he doesn't move, you basically repeat what you just did. Down. No. We'll try to do that one time. If you can stay with me running, that'll be like his main thing today, and then we'll give him another break. Sit. Sit. Down. Down. Good. Good. Yes. Okay, come. It's really good when they actually stay and then you can release them with a command, because that's how he's learning that eventually he gets, the release command. So the next time I come back, I want to have you practicing. Oh, actually, let me do one thing. I want to do the distraction, see how he does with someone else approach, and then we're gonna give him a break, and then you're gonna go into practicing with him. Mm-hmm. Leave it. Do one of you want to come back to him? So you're going to just approach and then don't back to me. Sit. Great. So whenever someone is approaching, you want to make sure that you make him wait. Don't let him pull. The first thing that when he got here, I'm coming towards you. He's like pulling, dragging towards people. If someone is walking towards me and he's getting too interested, what are you gonna do? Because he's good right now. But what you're gonna be doing is redirecting his attention away from them. So you're gonna go back, make him go in circle a little bit. You can try a sit. I mean, work on his sit with the leash pressure, so it's a little easier because right now he still takes a lot of pressure. But you don't have to do a sit. It can just be like things like this, moving around. There's a lot easier to reinforce when you do this. Then you bring him closer. Sit. Sit. And then you can come forward. Leave it. And then come back to him. Leave it. But you keep kind of controlling him so he's not going forward. Now when he holds himself there, sit, try patting him, leave it. When he finally holds himself there, you want to release the tension. So he wasn't quite with no tension, but your goal is to get to that level. Maybe one more time. Sit. Leave it. Go ahead. Leave it. You can, when you restrict them, it's basically tell them to stop what they're doing and try to pat like on top of his head. Leave it. Okay, good, right there. When you leave it, keep patting. We want him to learn to hold himself there. No sniffing, nothing. Just getting patted. Sit. Your end goal is like that all the time. So in the beginning, you have to reinforce until he's holding himself. Now, if we start to do this every single time, he's going to get to the point that when people come to pat him, he just lets them pet him. He's not going to be pawing at them or jumping at them or licking them, just like this. One more person want to come back to him? So do the same thing, just another practice. Walk towards me. So again, just imagine that maybe he was getting a little too interested. You just move him around. This just helps him become less fixated on someone.
Okay.
Sit. Sit. Good boy. I come a little closer. Leave it. He's a little bit unsure of you. Like maybe the head. He's good now, but he was a little just like looking a little. So when he's because also he's young, so he's friendly, but he's he's becoming mature. So what you have to see is sometimes just so you know what to look out for, because he's a very aware dog, like he's very focused. And so when someone is walking that he might feel threatened, he might become defensive, and he could show out of the blue one day show, aggression. So and you usually see before that happens, you see him just looking at someone like, whoa, and then he gave that look right there. So whenever you see that, all you have to do is redirect him. When he's there, he's fine. But if someone, it could be a certain type of person or what they're wearing, it could be man, woman, anything that at any given time can become a trigger for your dog. And when they're young, and some breeds of dog like Rottweilers and German Shepherds, they have more of a tendency of becoming protective. So the way they become protective is whatever they see as something new and strange to them, that they become, unsure. Sit. Good. And then come closer to us. Leave it. And then go ahead and put your hand out a little bit. Good. And go back. Good. He did much better this time. So now he's just getting patted and hanging out there. Like I said, when I come back, I'll have you try to practice this. Hey, sit. One more time. Leave it. Leave it. Sit. Go ahead. Leave it. Good. And then just keep patting him. And very normal for the stages, they're just very excitable, they're learning to have self-control. So it just takes repetition. Okay, good job. Come.
Thank you.
Yeah. Alright, so let's get the mask on her. And the mask is always going to be something that's going to be recommended every